Hey guys, welcome to a brand new game review. As you guys all know, the Skywalker Saga was released this previous week, and I got my copy for the PS5. Considering the amount of hype and cult following LEGO Star Wars has, and the amount of delays that this game went through, you might be asking yourself, is this game worth all the hype? As you guys know, I am a huge fan of LEGO games. All the way from LEGO Indiana Jones to LEGO DC Supervillains, I have played just about every LEGO game there is. In fact, the LEGO Star Wars games are my favorites. I will not only be reviewing the Skywalker Saga, but I'll be comparing it to its predecessor, the Complete Saga, as well. The Skywalker Saga covers all 9 Star Wars movies, with 2 of the movies, The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, being playable in a LEGO Star Wars game for the very first time. As you open the game, you are able to start at the beginning of any of the 3 main Star Wars trilogies, with the next episode being unlocked after you complete the first episode in the trilogy. I personally chose to start with The Phantom Menace and do the Star Wars movies in chronological order. One might be wondering how episodes 1 through 6 compare to that of the Complete Saga. As you guys remember, the Complete Saga featured a Mos Eisley Cantina area that would let you access all 6 movies. Each of the movies contained 6 levels that lasted about 20 or so minutes. The Skywalker Saga is quite interesting with how they adapted the movies. Each movie contains 5 levels that are only about 10 to 15 minutes apiece and sometimes shorter, making it a grand total of 45 levels. That might seem disappointing, but they do put the important parts of the movies inside each of the levels, and the smaller parts of the movies are smaller missions that you do when you explore the different planets. For example, a part where Luke does his Jedi training on Dagobah is not an entire level like it is in the Complete Saga. It's just a smaller mission that you do on the planet of Dagobah when you travel there. Sometimes the way they did the adaptation for the shorter levels benefits the game. In case of point, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens game, it was stretched out to a full 12 levels, which hurt the game because there was unfortunately a lot of filler that was just unnecessary. And in Skywalker Saga, 5 levels per movie really helps with the pacing in the story and makes the movies more enjoyable to play. This even benefits movies like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, which are movies that I'm personally just not a fan of to begin with, but the 5 levels movie system combined with the classic LEGO humor really made me enjoy these movies a lot more. For people like me that are very nostalgic of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, there is a mumble mode which you can turn on right on your first playthrough from the start, as soon as you start the game, to have that classic LEGO Star Wars experience before there was the voice acting. And speaking of voice acting, some of the voices in this game are just meh and quite iffy. Certain characters, such as the majority of the ones from the sequel trilogy, sound nothing like the actors who played them in the movie. For example, Kylo Ren and Finn sound nothing at all like Adam Driver and John Boyega. The actress for Rey at certain times sounds like Daisy Ridley, but other times does not sound anything like Daisy Ridley. It's super weird. And I'm not sure if this was like a budgetary thing or what happened. But however, some of the voice acting is super great. It sounds a lot like the original actors. A standout for me was the actor playing Luke in the original trilogy for this game. Sounded almost exactly like Mark Hamill did. Same for the voice actors for Han Solo and Ben Kenobi. They sounded really close to the original actors. One of my favorite parts of the game's voice acting is that they got the Clone Wars actors to revise their roles for the prequels. For example, James Arnold Taylor does the voice of young Obi-Wan once again, and he sounds so good and is very accurate to Ewan McGregor's portrayal of the character. Matt Lanter also returns to play Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars, and there are also several other actors from the Clone Wars that have returned, such as Corey Burton as Count Dooku, Terrence C. Carson as Mace Windu, and the amazing Tom Kane returning as both Yoda and doing the voice for Qui-Gon Jinn. There are some characters that the voice actor sounds nothing like the original actor, but the voice still works for the character. A good example of this would be Princess Leia. The game's graphics for the most part are simply breathtaking. A new feature of this game is all of the ships are 100% out of Lego in both the exteriors and the interiors. With the enhanced graphics of the game and the new engine they have used, you can really see the intricate detail with every Lego piece on these ships. Not only are the ships impressive in detail and design, but they are also super immersive. And there is a new over-the-shoulder camera angle that allows for the environments to be massive and super immersive as well. Hubs like Tatooine and Coruscant have multiple areas to explore, and the amount of detail in each of these environments are very impressive. When you walk around Tatooine, the Lego figures get sand on them, which is a very small detail but super cool. Same for Hoth. When you walk around, the Lego figures get snow on them. As I've mentioned, each of the planets are super massive in detail and in size. There are a total of 26 planets to explore and get collectibles on, each planet being featured from every single Star Wars movie, and even the planets like Crate from the final battle of The Last Jedi, which I know wasn't in the movie for that long, you can fully explore that within the game. And with the PS5 graphics, it makes the planets look super immersive and massive and super detailed when playing. However, there are some planets that still look a bit unfinished. Take Odana and Dakar were the two major ones I noticed when going through my 100%. There's a weird thing going on that the environment looks unfinished, but it causes the Lego figures to look blurry because of it. But what is weird to me is that the blurriness kind of goes away when you're standing in certain areas, but comes back when you're in other areas. This problem is non-existent when exploring like Tatooine, Jakku, or Coruscant, and in fact the graphic looks the best on those three planets that I previously just mentioned. LEGO games have always been known for the massive amount of collectibles within each game. Skywalker Saga is no different, with over 1,000 Kyber bricks to collect, which serves the same function as the gold bricks from previous LEGO games. There are 19 data cards to collect, which unlock the different extras such as the stud multipliers and other fun extras that I don't want to spoil because they're so much fun trying to unlock them and experience them for the first time on your own. Over 220 mini kits there are to unlock, which build micro versions of the famous ships from the Star Wars movies, a whopping 380 characters, which is by far the biggest roster in any LEGO game that there's ever been, and 70 ships and 5 capital ships to unlock and explore. More on those in a bit. Kyber bricks are the primary collectible unlocked by solving puzzles, doing challenges, and missions, and there are also 6 Kyber bricks in each level. Compared to most LEGO games, the puzzles to unlock the Kyber bricks are super repetitive. In previous LEGO games, the gold brick puzzles usually stood out and were very unique from one another. If you guys are planning to 100% this game, to me, it feels like I'm doing the same 15 or so puzzles over and over again, therefore making it really easy for me to predict when I come across a new puzzle that I'm stuck on. And most of the planets have anywhere from 20 to 70 Kyber bricks per planet. There are also missions that you do on each planet to unlock characters, and there are about 5 to 30 missions per planet. Unlike the Kyber bricks, the missions have a ton of thought put into them, and each one feels different and unique from the last. Previous LEGO games, the side missions to unlock the characters were always the same tasks being done over and over again. Some of the missions that stuck out to me in this game are the Bounty Hunter missions, which are certain characters require the assistance of only the Bounty Hunter class. And as the bounty hunter, you'll go to another planet, ask the local citizens for the person you're looking for. Once you find them, they end up running away 90% of the time, and you got to find them, beat them up, and collect them. Then after collecting them, you have to fly back to the person who wanted the bounty originally. You would attract the other bounty hunters when flying through space, and they would come after you, and you would have to take down those other bounty hunters. The missions in this game are super interesting, fun, and engaging, and I love discovering all the different missions in this game. Also, keep an eye out for Watto's mission on Mos Espa. It was by far one of my favorites in the game so far. I know it sounds like a lot of collectibles and everything, but that's because it is. I've been playing this game quite a bit the last week, and I'm only about 80% done, although it doesn't feel that way because there's still a massive amount of planets to do and explore. You can also orbit space before diving down into the planet you want to explore. There are Kyber Brick comets now, which when shot down give you 5 Kyber Bricks all at once. All of these Kyber Bricks can be used for upgrades. There are also space races that are found in orbit when exploring the planet orbits. There are capital ships to unlock as well, and how this works is the capital ships randomly spawn in orbit when you go to certain planets. You can take out the defenses of the ship and all the enemy forces inside and outside of the ship, and once you land inside of the ship, you take out all of the enemies inside, and there's usually a boss. And once you do that, there is a method to save up studs, and you can buy the capital ships, and when you go back in, you can unlock a bunch of new Kyber bricks that weren't there previously because you are now the captain of the ship. And the inclusion of this in the game is once again so immersive and just makes you feel like you're actually in the Star Wars universe, and never has there been this much thought into these missions before in a Lego game ever, and I love how much detail and thought that they've put into this for the missions. Kyber bricks are used in this game to unlock upgrades. Each character belongs to a specific class such as Scavengers, Jedi, Villain, Hero, Darkside, and more. Each class has abilities you can upgrade in the Upgrades tab that uses Kyber bricks to unlock. There are also core upgrades, which are for every character unlike the others, which are specifically for the character classes. Some are better than others. Ones I would recommend saving up for right away are the Track Studs and Collectible Detector core upgrades. There are also core upgrades to give you increased ship damage and extra health, which I recommend getting those as well. Certain puzzles come up where you have to use a specific character class to hack the terminal. There's one for astromech droids, one for villains, and one for heroes. There's an upgrade that you can unlock that allows you to either skip these terminals or gain extra studs for doing them, which is another super helpful upgrade. I'm sure you guys have noticed that in this game the health bar is different from any other LEGO game. In previous LEGO games you have the heart system, and now in this game you have the traditional health bar. And when doing boss battles, you take out several rounds of these health bars until they're knocked out. The new and improved combat system in this game is amazing to say the least. Gone is the same button mashing of the same button over and over, and now there's actual combos that you can do. You can actually experiment with these combos a bit, and it's not complicated by any means, but it is very fun to play around with. In fact, I have seen some people on TikTok create combo tutorials for this game. The boss battles and lightsaber combat is very fun and engaging as well. Jedi users now have the abilities to throw their lightsabers at enemies. They can also force push objects, and they can also lift objects up with the force and throw them at enemies for extra damage. And like I said about the lightsaber battles, they have such amazing lightsaber battles in this game. One of my favorites being the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar. One thing I have come across is a ton of glitches and bugs in this game, and I'm not the only one experiencing these issues. Just warning you guys, I have seen so many videos of the Nintendo Switch glitching because the Nintendo software isn't powerful enough to run this game at a smooth rate. It is so bad on the Switch version that glitches constantly happen, and it causes the players not to be able to finish a specific level because they have to constantly restart the game due to the glitches. There are a lot of times I have experienced bugs and glitches myself. For example, cutscenes not loading. When I finish a certain section of a level, it's supposed to play a cutscene and the screen just goes black and the game freezes, or the screen just goes white and the game freezes. Other times the camera just gets stuck or buggy at a certain angle. I've recently had issues with a lot of the boss battles. When I'm doing combos against the bosses, the camera gets super buggy, and it kind of makes me a little dizzy as well. Also, I've had several issues during certain missions, such as one mission where I had to go to Kashyyyk and speak with the Wookiee, and when I would go near the Wookiee, he would disappear, and when I would walk away, he would reappear, and the same thing would keep happening back and forth. But yet when I switched to the other character I had and walked up to the Wookiee, it let me talk to him, and it was fine. Also, when you select a planet to explore, there's a cutscene that's supposed to happen of the ship that you're using landing on the planet. I was working on 100%ing Tatooine, and instead of that cutscene playing, the characters just randomly fell out of the sky, landed on the ground, and got stuck in the ground, making me not be able to walk around and explore the planet. There are times when taking the taxi speeder on Tatooine to another section of the planet that my character got stuck in the speeder and would not let me get out. Then, I was on Dakar solving a puzzle for a Kyber brick, and there was something that came up that was for a side mission that I already completed. And it was just floating in the air. Finally, I have had massive lag whenever I explore Tatooine. And just letting you guys know too, I played my game for about 20 minutes on my first playthrough, and it crashed already. And it just upsets me that these glitches and bugs and crashes are happening, because as you guys know, this game kept getting delayed multiple times, and they kept saying that they were delaying the game to put the final and finishing touches on it to make sure that the game was perfect when they would release it. But the thing is these glitches happen when it should have been taken care of in the first place, being that the game kept getting delayed. It takes me out of the immersiveness of the game when these bugs and glitches keep constantly happening, forcing me to restart missions, levels, and the game entirely. Is completely frustrating. I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. I originally ranked this game much higher, but the issues with the glitches and bugs and certain environments not looking finished brought the game down for me. However, that does not mean that this game is bad. These issues can be simply patched, which I hope the developers are working on ASAP as I'm doing this review. I might even do an updated review in the future because this game has the potential to be the best LEGO game, but there are just so many things that hold it back. As of now, it is in my top 3 LEGO games. But how does this game compare to the Complete Saga is the big question. I 100% feel, with 100% confidence, that this game makes the Complete Saga outdated. This game is the overall better Star Wars experience compared to every single previous Star Wars game. Even if you guys don't plan on 100%ing this game, there is so much content to do, and the main story took me around 10 hours or so. I would recommend buying this game to support the developers as much as they had trouble with this. And if you guys are a fan of Star Wars in general, or LEGO games, or LEGO Star Wars, please buy this game. Support the developers, support the team that put all their thought and hard work into this game. And also, just a couple small nitpicks here before I wrap it up here. The DLC for this game is just character packs, which is kind of disappointing considering that every single LEGO game always has bonus packs or bonus level packs that always adds levels. And I have a feeling that they're not planning to do that with this game, which is a shame because the Solo and Rogue One character packs really should have been level packs. Hopefully I'm wrong with that and that they will do level pack DLCs in the future. I'm really crossing my fingers for that. Couple final small nitpicks I have with the game that don't really affect my review. Minor spoilers here. If you guys don't want spoilers, then just skip ahead like 30 seconds. But the Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda Force Ghost characters are not in this game, which to me is super disappointing because they were my absolute favorite characters to play as in the Complete Saga. And finally, my last nitpick, there is no character customizer in this game, which is unfortunate considering how you guys know I loved making customs in LEGO DC villains. Thank you guys so much for watching this game review. I truly appreciate everyone's support. Also, if you guys want to see more videos from me, and more game reviews in the future, please subscribe down below and hit that like button. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game review, and let me know in the comments down below, are you guys going to be buying this game? Anyways guys, as always, I am your host, Cool Fresh Gaming, and stay cool, stay fresh, and stay gaming. I will see you guys in the next video.